Hello, Miss Alta. Burrow has thought of a task you might enjoy. The task involves something dear to my heart. The puffins, our wonderful little bird friends. You've seen them roaming around, yes? Did you know you can be feeding them tea? They are quite loving the stuff. In fact, they will even change colors to whatever color of tea you serve to them, like magic. Please note that it is not actually magic. This is simply being normal pluffin biology. Or perhaps you'd like to feed tea to our pluffin friends here. If you're giving several of them tea, make our animal friends delightfully colorful. Will they die if I don't feed them? Goodness, no. Pluffins are being just about the most indestructible creatures in the universe. Barely a soul alive who's ever actually witnessed a pluffin die. It is the stuff of myth and mystery. Feeding them is merely for our enjoyment and theirs. You seem to enjoy the taste. What do you say? Does this sound like a task you care to take on? Sure, I'll do it. Wonderful. To be giving a puffin tea, you must first do is place the teacup on the ground next to a puffin. The smell alone is surely enough to draw them over for a drink. Once you've served tea to 5 of them, won't you please come speak with me? And maybe. I am getting the sleepy. Coffee bean. Dirty, dirty coffee bean. Get washed. And while that is washing, let us have a sip of this tea. Come on, I want to drink the ladybug tea. Alright, I want to sit in the gazebo. Enjoy my tea there.
When I was a kid, I ate jerky for breakfast every morning.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
The reason I did this was because of the neighborhood bully. He was this vicious boy who'd antagonize the other kids relentlessly. Sometimes physically. But he'd also talk us down and make us feel worthless. One time, he beat on another kid so badly he went to the hospital. And all of us knew who'd done it, but we were too afraid to speak. The fear he inspired in me was like nothing I'd ever known. The bully was always eating jerky for some reason. And pretty soon, without my even realizing it, I began to eat jerky for breakfast every single day.
Yeah, don't much care for bullies myself. Not very likable, are they? I worry about my kids sometimes. I don't know if I have good advice to give against bullies. Alright, let's give this one to a pluffin. We can find one. Pluffin. There's one. I think. I thought I saw one. Maybe I've gone crazy? Here you are. He is pink. It did happen. All right. And we got this coffee bean that is roasted. Pour it all the way. Alright, we're ready to make coffee. That's it. Just pure coffee. Nothing fancy. As long as it's not being fancy, we'll put it in a regular old cup. Alright, where is he? Jerry! I have it. I have the coffee. You brought coffee? This is coffee. I'm glad to have coffee at this time. Coffee will better enable me to deliver my presentation to the board. Presentation will be the first I have ever delivered. It is important that I made a positive impression. I present it to you now to practice. Yeah, go ahead. Good. I will now present it. My presentation is entitled Conflict Resolution in the Workplace. All of us have experienced conflict. Some have done so dozens or even tens of thousands of times. Yet, a fundamental question must be asked. What is conflict in the workplace and where does it come from? This is the question I will answer in my presentation. The music's just going nuts. May I inquire how is my presentation thus far? You should lighten the mood with some jokes. Understood. I will do so. What is conflict in the workplace and where does it come from? The three primary sources of conflict in the workplace: litter, resentment, and corn product. Of these three, litter is the only one of which we have any real control. Therefore, remember to litter on your coworkers' desks only when absolutely necessary. When conflict arises, all employees are encouraged to document it in their conflict journal. Remember to record names, dates, and specific swear words used in the conflict. remember to embellish details of the conflict only in places where it makes the conflict more entertaining. At this time, we will pause for a joke. Why didn't the submarine need to rest? Because it was not tired. The nature of the joke is that certain vehicles have tires. However, a submarine is not one. Tired in this sense can refer both to the submarine's energy level or the number of tires it has. In fact, a submarine is a submersible watercraft which uses ballast tanks and jet propulsion to enable movement. Therefore, tires on a submarine would be irrelevant. This concludes the joke. We will now resume the presentation. After filling an entry in the conflict journal, remember to inform your conflict manager that you have done so. However, do not discuss the specifics of the conflict with your conflict manager. If the conflict manager asks for specifics of the conflict, you must reply only in vague grunts and shrugs. The conflict manager may begin crying and begging you to share details of the conflict, groveling on his hands and knees. The conflict manager may promise to open up about their own deepest secrets if you only share the conflict details. The conflict manager may offer you $20. In all of these cases, you are permitted only to roll your eyes and say, "It's just, I don't know, I don't wanna." Alternatively, you may fake a disease in order to leave the room. Do not look at the conflict manager in the eyes. You may accept the $20. You may not discuss the details of the conflict. At no time are you permitted to learn your conflict manager's real name. We will now pause for a joke. How many kinds of fish are there? 11. Excuse me, my mistake. This was a statement of fact about fish and not a joke. I will correct this mistake when I deliver my presentation to the board. This now concludes the presentation. Thank you for allowing me to practice. I feel more prepared than before. As a show of thanks, I would like to offer you this picture of my own conflict manager. Sure. I hope your conflict manager is as benevolent as my own. This is a good picture. Let's see. Where does this go? How's this? No, that doesn't work. He needs a wide space. I'm gonna go with here. I think I would rather have this chicken than this weird engineer guy. Maybe I should have let him build me those wind chimes though that one time. What happens if I drink coffee? Little more. Whoa. I was not expecting a cosmic being there right at that moment. Is there a place to sit like on the just outside of this area? How about looking at this tree?
Coffee means early mornings, long days, rigorous training. It flips a switch in me. Starts a motor running that can go for a long, long time. It doesn't make me better at my training. It just puts me into a headspace. And yet, here I am. I'm drinking coffee. And I just don't feel anything. I can't summon that fire. Is that good? Is it bad? I don't know. God. I just want things to stop changing.
Interesting. Alright. I assume all the quests over there are about drinking coffee. But, in the meantime... There we go. Just because I feel like it'll come up, we should prepare some more coffee, but I am also going to give some coffee to Boro. Because I want to see how he deals with it. Like, maybe he hates coffee. Does he only like tea? I would like to know. Let me grab this cup. Everybody's getting coffee. It's just what we're gonna do. Salta, Boro has noticed there is coffee growing right here in our clearing. Yeah, Zenith spawned it to serve to the businessmen. My goodness, what an improbable delight. I did not even know that was being possible. Although, I will say coffee has never exactly been Boro's cup of tea. You don't seem like a coffee guy. You're very much correct. Boro is not much of a get up and go person. Oh dear. Now that we serve coffee, will Wanderstop have to rebrand? No. No, I can't be doing it. We are simply a tea shop, and sometimes that has coffee. Don't worry about it, I'll handle the coffee. Ah, now that is what I am liking to hear. As always, Boro is going to put off learning anything new or useful skills for as long as possible. Why, Miss Alta, have you brought Boro a cup of tea? Yep, this is for you. Wonderful. Well. If it isn't a good old cup of good old-fashioned coffee. Miss Alta, did I tell you that I tried making coffee here at Wanderstop many years ago? Was attempting to keep up with the trends. Yes, the popular types of drinks. At the time, the shop was seen as quite unfashionable if it was not serving coffee. But, oh dear, Boro simply could not produce a decent cup of coffee for the life of me. Coffee is simply not being my sensibility, I'm afraid. I will tell you, miss, this was a very difficult lesson for Boro to accept. I've tried for much longer than I should have to be forcing myself to make coffee. And when I finally gave up and accepted that this is simply a tea shop, goodness, what a weight lifted from Boro's shoulders. Yes, so obviously, So obvious now in hindsight. How silly. It seems coffee has returned to us, like a wandering cat. It has come home. And can I say, you've done a fine job of it. It's just that coffee is not being of my taste. Yes, I will leave the coffee preparation to you. No need to go relearning my big lesson. Alright, one more cup of coffee. You give this to a Pluffin, and he'll turn brown and he'll lay chocolate eggs. Drink the coffee. Possibly explode. Did he change colors? Kinda hard to tell. I think he did. Oh, hi. I bet they would like coffee too. But you know what? They're just gonna have to wait. Leave me alone. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm Old Man Sugarheart. I had a great time with this. But I am getting a wee bit tired. And I think I would like to go get some rest. We will try to finish this up next week. I'm not sure how much longer there is. I'll check on it and we'll allocate the proper amount of time to it, I think. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are on Twitch, stick around and we'll find somebody to raid. Now, who is playing? Here's Binding of Isaac. Rogue Trader, that's a good one. Ooh, we're gonna raid Eru. She's playing Crypt Master. I know she likes puzzle games, so I'm a little curious about this one. I have not played this game. I don't actually understand how it works. I hope you guys like it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.